Hi there, welcome back to another video. I'm Shadel Khadid. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. And if you're a regular subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, thanks so much for the support. I potty trained my toddler by 2 years old, and I'll be sharing those things I did that successfully, enabled us to potty train her by 2. So if this is something you're interested in, stick and stay.
Mom,
Yes?
what a good singer guitar. I want to sing too.
You want to sing too? What are you going to sing?
I know I sing. My daddy told me you can sing.
Okay.
I know I sing to go.
Sing the potty song.
But it's not going to
Way. I'm gonna pull on the phone, miss. I'm so excited about today's video because I'm going to be sharing how I potty trained my daughter by 2 years old. As a musical family, naturally, we use music for almost everything. She is able to spell her name, and we've used music to teach her that. And so, similarly, of course, I've used music to, kind of socialize her in a lot of ways and get her to understand how this whole process goes, and to understand that when she gets that urge, it means it needs to go. When she needs to go, it needs to come out. And so I made up a lot of potty songs. It's her 1 minute. Well, that's how my mom taught my sister and I how to spell our names at a very young age, and so we've been doing the same to socialize her pretty much. So I've made up a lot of songs. We make up a song for every single thing, almost everything. Right now we don't have one set song. We just have like chants like germs, germs, go away. In the moment, whatever the situation is, we just make up a song and she catches on to it and she just works with it. Of course, initially it wasn't so easy, but we just pushed on through. So with everything, we make up a song. So I use a lot of songs. She watches YouTube now and then, and so I would play some of those potty training songs for her. And sometimes I go in there with my phone, sit her down on the toilet, and have her watch them while I try to, get her to go. Works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes, but I think over time it has really helped. I've played songs for her. I've made up songs for her about using the bathroom. And I think that really helped in terms of getting her potty trained by 2 years old. We bought toddler underwears for her. Now she still uses, what do you call them, training diapers, but I only use them at night nowadays. Well, at least for a few months now, she's been using them only when she goes to bed. I put them on her. But during the days, she's in panties, always. And I think that sort of helped to push it too. I mean, we weren't forcing her, but we let her get used to the panties from early on. So her aunties, everybody, whenever they're coming, ask what should they bring, we say panties. What we did was introduce her to those underwears from an early age. And so it doesn't matter what accidents, whatever accidents happen throughout the day, I'm prepared for it. I'm kind of used to it by now. Cleaning up wherever she goes. Because what happens sometimes is that she's just not in the mood to go on the toilet. And so wherever she feels like going, she just go and let it out. I'm really just happy she does let it out. So I'm not creating any excitement over where she does it, as long as she gets it out. As she gets older, of course, or as she is getting older, I'm trying to ensure that she does go and, do it in the toilet. Which leads me to the next point, and that's buying a toddler toilet seat. And I keep that on the adult toilet throughout the day. So as soon as we get up, go in the bathroom and I put it on there. The first thing she does when she gets up, take out that diaper, she goes and sits on it, even if she doesn't say she has the urge to go. And that's the other thing too with her. Her vocabulary is very, very broad, and so she talks a lot. She's able to express herself in a lot of ways, including this. And so when she needs to go, she comes and she says, "Mommy, I need to pee pee. Can you help me, please?" Or she says, "Mommy, I need to doo doo. Can you help me, please?" In some cases, I could be in the living room or in the room and I just hear the toilet flushing, which means she helped herself. And then I would just go and ensure that she is properly wiped, and then I let her go on her way. But I allow her to exercise her independence, to an extent, so that she gets more comfortable with it. And one of the other things. Yes? Okay. Another thing I'd want to bring up is that I want to really know what people define as being potty trained, because she's able to verbalize that she wants to go. She's able to help herself sometimes. She only wears the diaper at night. But I know for a fact that I wouldn't want to say she's fully potty trained, because the fact is that she does have accidents sometimes to this day. And so I think there are levels to it, and I'd want us as parents to have a little grace, give ourselves a little bit of grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too frantic about people putting up on YouTube and wherever and saying, oh, I potty trained my child in a week, in 4 days, 3 days. What really is being potty trained? What does it really constitute? What does it really mean? Does it mean the child no longer messes up themselves? Does it mean the child is able to verbalize that he or she needs to go? Does it mean the child is fully independent? So I think there are different levels to it, and I just want to say, yes, I think there are levels to it, and I just want to say, just give yourself some grace. I know that, especially when the child gets closer to 3 years old, particularly in Jamaica, when it comes to the early childhood institutions, or what you call it, kindergarten. If the child doesn't go to pre-K, they will start school generally at 3 years old, maybe a little bit before 3. And so parents would want to know that their child is potty trained before they go to school. And I believe the schools would encourage that strongly too, so that, there is less pressure on the teachers and the teacher assistants and caregivers there at the schools to know that the child can at least verbalize that they can go, all right, back to how I actually potty trained my daughter by 2 years old. Another thing we did was we appreciated and understood her personality, because understanding her at 2 says a lot about how we parent, says a lot about how we can parent her as best as possible. And one of the things we have had to appreciate about Naya is that she's very strong-willed, she's very expressive, she's blunt, she's brave, she's bold. And so she takes this into her potty training experience. By this I mean, when she wants to go, she needs her privacy. She will go in the bedroom, and she'll close the door, lock the door, leave me alone, let me be, don't come in here. She just wants to be alone, and she just wants the space to do her thing. I think that is only fair, because as adults, come on, you really need a space to do your thing. And so we respect and appreciate that about her. And as I said, I will allow her to go. These days, well, of course, she needs the aid sometimes, depending on where we are. When we were at my mom's home, the toilet is a little bit lower, and so she's able to go up and go on her seat. When we're at our home, it's a little bit higher. She makes her way up as well, but depending on where we are, she may need some help to get onto the toilet seat. So the stool will be very helpful, an aided stool, for them to reach up to the toilet. But her actual potty seat, her actual toilet seat, toddler seat, is on the toilet at all times. And so even if an adult goes to use the bathroom, we encourage that, you put back her seat on it, so that if she chooses to go by herself, she has the seat, to just safely go. And as I said, I allow her to go, I allow her to exercise that independence, and then I go and assist her by ensuring that she's properly wiped and so on. Another thing I think is very helpful is taking her to the bathroom at least every 2 hours or so. Well, sometimes every hour. Even if she doesn't express that she wants to go, I just take her on these, put her on the toilet seat to go. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't. But it sort of gets her in that frame of mind to say, remember when you have the urge, you go and use the toilet. Remember when you have the urge, you go and ask for help, that sort of thing. So brought her to the toilet. I still do that now and then. Bring her there every 2 hours or every hour, just to check, just in case she's there playing and doing her own thing and refuse to go, and then it come down on her. So get her in that habit of going, reminding her that this is natural and it's okay. Another thing I think that really helps or helped is consoling her if she actually has an accident. So if she pees on herself, or if she actually, messes up herself, do the number 2 as people would call it, I wouldn't be upset with her. I'd say it's okay, it's an accident, and remind her of what she's supposed to do when she has the urge to go, and I just clean it up. As simple as that. And so it brings me back to the point of defining what really potty training is, because I think for a lot of toddlers, what happens is, even if they've gotten to the point where they're able to verbalize or even help themselves, sometimes there are going to be cases of accidents, and you'd want to just reassure them that it's okay. It's okay that they've had an accident. Being reminded in that moment that this is what you do when you have the urge to go. You get what I mean? So that's a part of it. So I'm sort of immune now when it comes to cleaning up poo all over the house. I'm kind of immune to wiping up pee every now and then. I think the scariest part of it is when she actually wants to go sometimes, and she would hold it in for whatever reason. There are those moments. But I think importantly, she knows what she should do, and she understands that this urge is natural. Of course, she will get it. I never get tired of this one, and that's actually praising her, congratulating her when she actually goes, whether it's PP or that other one. Whether she do the number 1 or number 2, I would praise her, I'd congratulate her. I don't give her no candy, I don't give her anything as a gift. I just say, just do a high five, or we just keep a little celebratory party to say, yeah, you did it. Awesome job. We'll go again later today when we have the urge. That sort of thing. But I never, ever, ever use candy or anything like that to praise her or to congratulate her when she goes. But we do celebrate. I let her know that, yeah, you did great, man. That's the right thing to do. These days, what she wants to do is actually flush herself. She wants to wipe and flush herself, and then she wants to see it go down, and then she says, bye-bye germs, bye-bye germs. That's her favorite thing these days. But yeah, it's a roller coaster ride, certainly. And of course, every opportunity I get to speak with you and share, on this platform, I want to remind you that every child is different. Every experience is different. We all parent differently. And even though my child is potty trained and was potty trained by 2 years old, it doesn't mean that your child will be, and it doesn't necessarily mean that anything is wrong with your child if he or she isn't potty trained by 2 years old. I believe it's okay to share best practices. I believe it's okay to share experiences, but also to remind us all that we ought to take it easy on ourselves. All experiences are different, and if there's something that has worked for somebody else, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you. But you may try some of the things that others have tried to see how it plays out, and then we just take things one day at a time. I believe there are different ways in which we can define what potty training is, and there are different stages. It is a process. So there are those kids who will be able to come to you and say, there are those kids who are able to help themselves. There are those kids who can do all of those things and still have accidents sometimes. So take it easy on yourself, man, and just do your thing. Keep on being the phenomenal parent, guardian, auntie, uncle, sister, teacher, friend, grandparent you are. And just be encouraged to just enjoy the journey and make the best of it. Alright, so take care until next time. I'll certainly see you in the next one. Bye.